This season on Everyday Gourmet, we'll be showcasing some of the beautiful recipes and produce from the Shizuoka Prefecture of Japan. Only a short train ride south of Tokyo, Shizuoka offers up stunning views of the majestic Mount Fuji. Known for its outstanding fresh seafood, rolling green tea fields and abundant fruit and vegetables, we've got a delicious selection of recipes to take your taste buds on the ultimate Japanese adventure. On the east coast of Shizuoka lies Kanami Town. Surrounded by beautiful mountains, the volcanic ash soil creates rich and fertile conditions for agriculture. Local crops include May Queen potatoes, a firm and waxy potato that is one of the most commonly eaten in Japan, and Kanami high sugar tomatoes that are said to be the perfect balance of sweetness and acidity. Croquettes are not just famous in Spain, they're also very popular in Japan. So I've got Dylan Vickers here and he's going to show us a Japanese version.
Yeah, so we're going to be making korokke today, which is, as you said, a Japanese version of the croquette. We have some Kipler potatoes here that we've just boiled in water for 10 minutes. Could I get you to mash those up for me?
Yes, sure. And the potatoes in Japan, they're fantastic, aren't they? Specifically in the region that we both have visited.
Yeah, they're waxy, they're starchy, they've got a really full flavor. I've just peeled them after I've boiled them as well.
Yep.
While you mash that up, I'm going to sear off some of this minced beef here.
Okay. With butter.
Going to add a little bit of butter to the pan.
Okay.
Just let that melt in there.
Yep. And what kind of mince are you using?
I'm using minced beef here. Just let the butter melt a little bit. Then I'm going to add the mince straight to the pot.
Okay. And another ingredient that we're going to showcase with these croquettes is this. And it is not horseradish, similar family, it's the wasabi. And I can't tell you how amazing the experience was in the Shizuoka Prefecture. To go to a wasabi farm was the most interesting thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's actually the volcanic ash that creates really fertile conditions for the aquaculture of the wasabi.
Yep.
Yeah, wasabi is really finicky to grow. It takes really specific conditions. It needs running water.
Yeah.
And that's where you see those beautiful wasabi terraces on the side of the mountain there.
I love it. Really appreciate now, after you see the hard work that goes into farming it, when you do have it, appreciate it.
Definitely.
Okay, potatoes are mashed.
So that looks great. So my beef is just starting to brown now. I'm going to add in these onions.
Okay.
We're just going to sweat them off for a little bit. I'm going to add a touch of black pepper.
Yeah.
Could I get you to put some salt into here for me?
Yes, I can. How much salt would you like?
Let's go with a teaspoon of salt.
Teaspoon of salt. A good amount, because I guess there's lots of potato.
Lots of potato, that's right.
Potatoes are nice, but if they're not seasoned with salt, not as good.
Definitely. All right, that's looking great. So I'm going to just whack that into here.
Yep. Smells good.
Yeah, and while this is hot, we're going to mix everything together.
It's just very simple flavours. I can imagine a lot of little kiddies would love these croquettes.
Yeah.
And it really highlights, we want the croquette, but we want this wasabi to shine by adding that afterwards.
For sure, yeah. It's a really rib-sticking, humble kind of meal.
I like that, rib sticking.
All right, this looks good. So we're going to form this potato mixture into some little dumplings. So I'll just lightly kind of press the potato, the ground beef together, just until we get a little ball about that size there.
Yeah. So, oh, is that a golf ball?
Yeah, about a large golf ball.
Yep.
Get you to form up 6 of those for me.
Yes.
And then while you do that, I'm going to slice up some of this wasabi. I first want to shave the skin off of it with this knife here.
Look at that pastel green colour.
Yeah, so later on, I'm going to be mixing some of the ground wasabi with some of the Kewpie mayo to make a little sauce here.
Okay.
And this wasabi, it comes from Tasmania. So they use some of the same aquacultural techniques as they would in Shizuoka.
I did research when we were going to Japan, and it was one of the only places that is replicating, and it tastes fantastic. Not as spicy and intense as the Japanese one.
Definitely.
Just as different land, but it's, you know, very good.
I'm going to grate this wasabi with this nifty little grater I have here called an oroshi.
Ah, I love it.
So with this one, you want to use a circular technique, just kind of rubbing the wasabi quite gently around this grater.
And by doing that, you're getting almost like a puree or a super fine texture to it as opposed to big chunks.
That's right. It's going to be a very smooth kind of mash.
Very nice.
And once you're finished with that, I'll just get you to put those into the fridge for me to chill.
Sounds good. for about an hour, so they've firmed up nicely. And now for the fun part.
Yeah, so we've got a breading station set up here. Can I get you to put those into the flour for me?
Can do.
Just lightly toss them around. Then after, we're gonna put them into the egg, and then we've got some panko here, the Japanese breadcrumbs, which we're gonna coat them in finally before we fry them.
So would this be served as an entree or a main, or is it like more of a snack in Japan?
More of an entree. You could likely find this dish in a izakaya, which is a Japanese pub.
Yes. There we go. And
So
then
I'll
do we double crumb or do we crumb just once?
Just one time.
Just the one
Yeah.
time. All right, we'll pop them into the oil, and one just won't do. So we've got to fry a few more of these.
All right, so we're just taking the korokke out of the fryer now. They're nice golden brown, quite crispy. We're gonna make a sauce to go with these. So could you add some of this wasabi to, we have here the Kewpie mayo.
All of it or just a little bit?
All of it, please.
Oh, good.
Yep. So the reason why we're waiting to the very last minute to mix that, we want to keep the wasabi flavor nice and fresh. We want all of that natural sweetness to kind of remain in there, and that beautiful floral flavor from the wasabi to kind of carry through there.
Oh, so lovely. Because it's not like the imitation, and there's, you know, that vibrant green one that you see, that's probably food colouring in there, where this is the real deal. And I can just smell it. It smells so sweet. Do you want me to pour that into that little ramekin?
Yes, please.
Here it goes.
That looks beautiful. Thank you. We'll just arrange a couple of those ones on here.
And in true Japanese form, some very finely shredded cabbage.
Indeed.
I just love cabbage. And it's really, it just does make sense when you've got a mayonnaise and you've got some fried food. The crunch and the freshness of the cabbage is just quite nice with it.
All right, those look great. Jess, do you want to have a taste and tell me how they are?
Do I ever? I want to break into one of these so you can see how fluffy they are inside. Oh, yum. Piping hot still. And look at that crust. It's just right with those panko crumbs. Half for you, sir.
Oh, thank you.
A little dip. They're so good. And I can't wait to make these for my family. They're going to love them. Thank you.
Thank you.